Welcome. This presentation is provided by South Coast Air Quality Management District staff on Rule 2305, the Warehouse Indirect Source Rule, or commonly referred to as the Warehouse Actions and Investments to Reduce Emissions, or WAIRE program. This is Training Video 10 and will present information on the Annual WAIRE Report, or AWR, requirements. For all other training videos for the WAIRE program, please visit www.aqmd.gov/WAIRE. Rule 2305 requires warehouse operators to submit an AWR if they meet the conditions identified here. First, the warehouse operator operates in a warehouse building that is greater than or equal to 100,000 square feet of indoor floor space. Second, the warehouse operator operates in a warehouse building with at least 100,000 square feet that may be used for warehousing activities. Please note that the phrase "may be used for warehousing activities" includes the total floor area that has nothing inherent in its design or function that could prohibit it from being used for warehousing activities, even if it is not being used for warehousing activities currently. And third, the warehouse operator is leasing at least 50,000 square feet of warehouse space that may be used for warehousing activities. Warehouse operators must submit their AWRs by January 31st after each compliance period. The compliance period is a 12-month period during which an operator is required to count truck trips and earn WAIRE points to meet their compliance obligation. Warehouse operators are phased into the WAIRE program based on their warehouse size, as shown in this table. Warehouse operators are required to file a new AWR annually, due by January 31st following each compliance period. Keep in mind that if a warehouse facility or landowner chooses to voluntarily earn WAIRE points, they must file an AWR using the same due dates and procedures discussed in this presentation. There is also an option in the rule that allows for early compliance. That is an option to earn WAIRE points for early actions that were completed prior to the warehouse operator's first compliance period. The due dates for early action AWRs are discussed in training videos 3 and 7, which are available on the WAIRE program website, www.aqmd.gov/WAIRE. The WAIRE Program Online Portal, or WAIRPOP, is the online portal that warehouse owners and operators are required to use to submit their AWRs and other reports required by the WAIRE program, and associated fees. Anyone submitting an AWR must submit and pay applicable fees through the WAIRPOP. The WAIRPOP sign-in page is accessible from the WAIRE program website. Warehouse operators who have previously submitted the required Initial Site Information Report, or ISIR, should use the same login to submit their AWRs. New users will need to create a new account. Please see Training Video 11, which will be available on the WAIRE program website, for a more detailed discussion of using the WAIRPOP. To begin filing the AWR, the submitter will need to provide some general information on the warehouse and the warehouse operator. This includes information such as square footage, contact information, and lease duration. If the warehouse operator has completed the required ISIR previously, the warehouse information should be pre-populated in the applicable fields shown here. This information may also have been pre-populated based on the Warehouse Operations Notification, or WON, submittal from the warehouse owner. If you have not submitted an ISIR, please see training videos 8 and 9 for guidance on how to submit an ISIR, available on the WAIRE program website. If you are an owner of a warehouse facility, you are required to submit a WON before you can submit an AWR. Please refer to the training videos listed below related to the WON for guidance on how to submit a WON. Lastly, please check all information for accuracy and update as needed. The next few slides will cover the compliance requirements of the rule and how to complete compliance information in the AWR. First, the warehouse operator will need to determine their WAIRE Points Compliance Obligation, or WPCO. The WPCO is the number of WAIRE points a warehouse operator will need to earn in a compliance period. It is calculated based on the weighted annual truck trips, or WATTs, stringency, and an annual variable. The AWR requires that annual truck trips are reported according to the vehicle classification type for the compliance period. WPCO is a requirement for warehouse operators, including warehouse facility owners who serve as operators. Please note that non-operating warehouse facility or landowners who are filing an AWR to voluntarily earn WAIRE points, as well as early action AWRs, are not required to calculate a WPCO. Once the warehouse operator has provided their truck trip information, they will need to report how they earned WAIRE points to meet their WPCO. If a warehouse facility or landowner is earning WAIRE points voluntarily, they will also need to identify the actions completed during the compliance period that earned the WAIRE points. WAIRE points may be earned by doing any of the following in a compliance year: completing actions from the WAIRE menu, implementing an approved custom WAIRE plan, paying a mitigation fee, using transferred or banked WAIRE points, or any combination of the above options. Please see Training Video 11 for guidance on how warehouse operators can choose the order that these options are applied to meet their WPCO. I will now go over the information required in the AWR to claim WAIRE menu items for WAIRE points. Claiming WAIRE points for acquiring a ZE or NZE truck, or for counting visits to or from the warehouse site from ZE or NZE trucks, requires the listed information. For acquisition, details must be entered about the type of truck acquired, its purchase date, and so on as listed. For visits, less information is required than for acquisitions. Records must be kept verifying the information submitted for all menu items. A truck must be delivered and made available for service at the warehouse site in order to claim WAIRE points for acquisition. Truck acquisitions may be purchased or leased. If leased less than a full compliance year, the WAIRE points earned will be proportional to the amount of the compliance period that the truck is leased. For example, a ZE truck is leased for 4 months out of the compliance year. Only 1/3 of the WAIRE points will be earned in that compliance year. If a lease continues for at least 8 months in the next compliance year, the remaining WAIRE points can be claimed in the next compliance year. Visits from ZE or NZE trucks may earn WAIRE points regardless of who owns or operates the truck. Claiming WAIRE points for acquiring and using a ZE yard truck, also sometimes called a yard goat or hostler, requires the listed information. Information required for acquisitions requires multiple details, including fuel type, order date, and in-service date, while usage only requires the annual hours of operation at the warehouse site. ZE yard truck acquisitions and use may also earn WAIRE points. A ZE yard truck must be delivered and made available for service at the warehouse site in order to claim WAIRE points for acquisition. Like for ZE or NZE truck acquisitions, ZE yard truck acquisitions must be purchased or leased, and WAIRE points for leases will be proportioned if less than the full compliance year. Usage may only be claimed if it is at the warehouse site. WAIRE points for an electric charger, also referred to as an electrical vehicle supply equipment or EVSE, installation at a warehouse site includes 3 milestones. Each milestone is claimed separately for a portion of the total WAIRE points for this WAIRE menu item. Not all milestones may occur in the same compliance period. In that case, warehouse operators or owners may earn WAIRE points just for the milestones that were achieved in that year, while future milestones may be claimed in future years as they are completed. Claiming WAIRE points for acquiring and installing EVSE requires the listed information. WAIRE points can also be earned from using an electric charger that is installed at the warehouse site. Usage is measured by kilowatt hours dispensed. It does not matter who owns or operates the trucks, yard trucks, and cars that are used at this charging station. Claiming WAIRE points for utilization of an electric charger requires the listed information. Other WAIRE menu options include installing or using a hydrogen fueling station or solar panels, both which need to be installed at the warehouse site, as well as installing air filtration systems or filter replacements at sensitive land uses like schools and residences, as described in the next slide and outlined in the WAIRE implementation guidelines, available on the WAIRE program website. Claiming WAIRE points for any of these items requires the listed information. Air filters are the only adopted WAIRE menu item that is located outside of the warehouse site. These must be installed or replaced at sensitive land uses, such as residences, schools, daycares, hospitals, or community centers, within 3 miles of the warehouse site. The filters must have a minimum efficiency reporting value, or MERV, of 16 or greater efficiency. In lieu of earning WAIRE points, the operator may choose to satisfy all or a portion of their WPCO through payment of a mitigation fee. The mitigation fee is an option to earning WAIRE points. The mitigation fee is in the amount of $1,000 per WAIRE point, plus an administrative fee of 6.25% of the mitigation fee paid. The mitigation fee is due at the time of the AWR submittal and can be paid online in the WAIRE pot via credit card or e-check, or by a physical mail-in check. To submit the AWR, the submitter must pay an administrative filing fee of $392.50 per AWR. The submittal is not considered complete until the AWR is filed and the fee is paid, including mitigation fees, if chosen as a compliance option. You may pay online in the WAIRE pot via credit card or e-check, or with a physical mail-in check. Please see Rule 316 for an explanation of all fees, available on the WAIRE program website. Rule 2305 requires records to be kept and maintained by the warehouse facility owner, including landowner if applicable, and warehouse operators. These records must document all reported information and be maintained for at least 7 years after the AWR was submitted. The records must be made available to South Coast AQMD upon request. While summarized information is reported in the AWR, during audits and field inspections, South Coast AQMD staff will require warehouse operators and warehouse facility or landowners, if applicable, to provide detailed records in order to verify the accuracy and validity of the information submitted, including documentation on how WAIRE points were earned. AWR submitters will need to certify the accuracy of the information submitted at the time of the AWR submittal. Please see the WAIRE Implementation Guidelines for more details on record keeping, available on the WAIRE program website. Now I will discuss how to bank or transfer WAIRE points. The WAIRE program allows for limited banking or transferring of WAIRE points. WAIRE points earned in excess of a WPCO may be banked for use in future compliance years, or may be transferred to another entity or location, subject to certain conditions. WAIRE points earned in excess of the WPCO may be banked for use at the warehouse at which they were earned for the next 3 compliance periods. After this time, any remaining banked WAIRE points will expire and can no longer be used. WAIRE points banked for future use in this way cannot be transferred to another warehouse. The banked WAIRE points may not be used in a subsequent compliance period if the warehouse operator is required by other regulations to take that claimed WAIRE menu action in that subsequent year. Banked WAIRE points may not be used to satisfy the WPCO if the improvements or equipment that earned the WAIRE points are no longer functional. If WAIRE points are earned prior to a warehouse operator's first compliance period, meaning in an early action AWR, the WAIRE points earned can only be used at that site, and the 3-year clock on banked WAIRE points does not begin until after their first compliance period. A warehouse facility or landowner may voluntarily earn WAIRE points during a compliance period. The warehouse facility or landowner may then transfer these WAIRE points to a warehouse operator at the site where the WAIRE points were earned within a 3-year period after the points were originally earned. Warehouse operators may also transfer WAIRE points to the warehouse owner within a 3-year period after the points were earned. If a warehouse operator vacates a warehouse before the end of a compliance period, they may transfer any excess WAIRE points to their warehouse owner, in excess of their WPCO. These points may then be transferred by the warehouse owner to the next warehouse operator. If a warehouse operator conducts warehousing activities at more than one warehouse during any single compliance period, then WAIRE points earned for one warehouse may be used at the other warehouses under the operational control of the same warehouse operator. Only those points earned in excess of a warehouse operator's WPCO at that site may be transferred, and only for the current compliance period. Transferred WAIRE points cannot be banked by the receiving warehouse, and banked WAIRE points cannot be transferred to a different warehouse. Any WAIRE points transferred to a different warehouse shall be discounted as shown in Table 3 of Rule 2305, available on the WAIRE program website. Finally, I will go over exemptions in the WAIRE program. I have previously discussed general applicability requirements for warehouse operators to file an AWR. Now, I will discuss specific exemptions for warehouse operators that could impact a warehouse operator's requirement to earn WAIRE points in a particular compliance year. Warehouse operators with a calculated WPCO of less than 10 WAIRE points are not required to earn any WAIRE points for that compliance year. These warehouse operators will still need to submit their AWR for the compliance year with this exemption, and are still required to submit a new AWR each year. The AWR administrative filing fee for the AWR Submittal is still required with this exemption. This exemption is in place to reduce the burden on small warehouse operations with only a small volume of truck trips to or from their warehouse. If a warehouse operator invests in new technology to comply with Rule 2305, and if that equipment malfunctions through no fault of the operator, then they may apply for an exemption from the portion of their WPCO for which that action applies. An example could include a warehouse operator who purchases a ZE or NZE truck that experiences a significant manufacturer defect that renders the truck inoperable for an extended period of time. Applications for this unforeseen exemption should be submitted to South Coast AQMD using the application and email address provided. The warehouse operator's WPCO should not be assumed to be reduced unless South Coast AQMD staff submits an approval of the exemption in writing or email. This concludes Training Video 10. Please see here for our contact information, including WAIRE Program email, WAIRE Program hotline, and WAIRE Program Compliance website. Also, consider signing up for our WAIRE Program Compliance listserv to receive compliance-related updates.